Welcome to class number 4 of Radiant Face and Flower Medicine. And today we're going to be working with the mouth, with your lips and your tongue, and again revisiting some work with your jaw. And I brought a little bouquet of flowers today. It's summer when this class is going on, so these are flowers right in the yard. And just wanted to bring a few different flowers, and some of them have more fragrance, like the lavender and this rose that actually just opened up. It was a little bud when I picked it, and now it's opened up. And as you can see, the color, I wear this color a lot, from the dahlia flower and the calendula, and there's another little aster here. Anyway, we'll have time in the after discussion to share your flowers and talk about what flowers spoke to you this week and how that is also seen in other people, the kind of radiance that flowers have and that hopefully is now coming out more in our faces, connecting with the heart. So let's warm up a little bit. Welcome everyone. And activate your hands, which activates your heart. And we'll do just a quick warm up, stroking from the forehead back down your head to the throat area, and slowly over your chest, down your chest. I'll do this just a little bit, down the stomach. Hold your hands on your hips. And tap your heels here for a moment, and that really connects us to the ground. And then stroke down your legs. Okay, and then down to your lower legs, and then up the backs of your legs, to the sides of your legs, to the side of your butt, and back to the kidney area. Hold your hands there for a moment with the fingers pointing down. Breathe in. And this is an area where if there's high anxiety in your life or stress, it's so nice to help calm that kind of energy that's building up sometimes in the body. So just holding your hands there and then bringing them around to your diaphragm area, and then making a circle looking clockwise, going on the left side of yourself, which I'm mirroring you, the left side below the navel, around. And we're going to make a few circles around the navel. And then hold your hands below the belly. Just hold them there. And this is, you know, people say contemplate your navel, but this is an area where your hands here that really helps your whole system settle. And maybe when you hold your hands below your navel, you can feel your pelvic bones on your chair. So we want to be working on a flat chair today. So while you hold your hands here, make sure your chair is firm and flat. And if it's got a little slope to the back, sit toward the front of your chair. And that will help your spine not have to work against gravity, all right? And the other thing we're going to need today, you can either use a paper towel if you don't have a clean handkerchief, or you can use a clean, thin dish towel, something that's a very thin texture. We're going to use that not right away, but in the lesson today. And then if you have your rock handy, let's do just a tiny bit with your rock right now to really connect with the bones of the face. And we're going to just start with your rock on your cheekbones, okay? Because we're working with the jaw, and we're going to just outline the structures around your jaw and mouth with your stone, okay? And this is just a soothing practice. You don't have to press hard. You just slowly move your rock around your chin and feeling these structures, okay? Just takes a moment to do, but it's very soothing. And then you come underneath your nose and you can feel your teeth. So now, you certainly don't want to push hard on your teeth with a rock, but you can really sense the teeth Let's go around the lips now, right below the lips with the stone and feeling your teeth. And you can roll the rock a little. Let's try that. Instead of sliding, just roll your rock around your lips. What a weird thing to do. Okay. But there's a lot of tension in our mouths and around the lips, holding, you know, that expression for Brits, if you have that stiff upper lip, right? So holding back emotions. So just letting the rock go around and around. Let's reverse, go the other way. And then as you do this, try to maybe every now and then touch the side of your jaw. So like if you grew up in a family where you just weren't allowed to express very much, or were punished for it, or maybe you got hit in the face or knocked in the face or whatever in the face, you know, there's tension sometimes with the face, with these kinds of stories that we have. And the nice thing, I'm just flipping my rock over there, is just to clear this tension very neutrally with this rock, just rolling it like a rolling pin, okay? But feeling the bones and breathing through your nose. Okay, beautiful. Let's put the rock down. See, it's just like I've gone and had some face work done, you know, without putting chemicals in around my lips. So it'll improve the hydration and circulation around your mouth. But more importantly, if you now take your fingers, it should relax around your lips, okay? This area now, just from touching the bones and the teeth gently with that stone, okay? You can feel now with your face, is it softer, okay? Simple, right? So simple. All right, let's rub our hands together. I love it. I love how simple, I mean, don't have to inject things into your mouth, into the tissue. And now let's just stroke your face. Stroke. And think about the flower petals. If you've been really hanging out with the flowers, your face has that petal-like quality. Even for men, your face is much softer than a lot of other places, particularly above the beard part. But feel the sort of softness and then stroke down your neck a little bit. Always makes me swallow. It's very good if you've got somebody with swallowing issues. Just stroking like this is so helpful. All right, and then let's rest. And let's just close your eyes for a moment. And now sense your face, and your hands are on your thighs. And let's just rock a little bit forward and back on your sit bones. So you find where those, tap your heels. It's really tricky when you put a lot of attention on your head and face. It kind of makes your head bigger. So we have to keep finding the root, keep finding the stem, keep finding the ground. Put one hand flat on top of your head. Tap your heel a little bit, tap the other heel, and then rock forward and back, just so you feel the connection now between your head and the floor or the ground. Okay, now open your eyes if you still have them closed. Okay, so now we're going to move on and work with the lips. And being the nature person I am, I think a lot about the different animals and the lips that they have. And the first animal that comes to my mind is the horse. And if you've hung around with horses, they have the most incredible flexible lips, and they're huge. Their lips are just enormous. And they can, if you watch them, they can pick one little blade of hay or, you know, something, clover, amidst a bunch of stuff, and they can get that one little piece with their lips. It's phenomenal. And their lips stay fairly supple for most of their lives. It's really impressive, and it's partly because how they use them so well. So anyway, that's one of my inspirations this week, and thinking about the lips. And so what we're going to do, make sure your hands are clean. If you don't, run and wash them really well if they're not clean, because we're going to be touching our lips. We're going to be working with the tongue here. You want to have really clean hands. And so what we're going to do to start with is just gently pull on your lip with your finger and thumb. And we're going to do it with 2 hands. Okay. And this is, you know, very simple. You're just holding your lip here. Okay. And let's just kind of work around your lip slowly, pulling, 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 pulling. We'll just do the top, work across. Oh, breathing. Okay. 1 time and then rest, and you might need to move saliva in there if it dries out. So just feeling that, and it's a very simple little movement. Okay, and let's come back. Okay, now this time, what I'm going to do is kind of, instead of using your fingers to pull, you're going to nod your head up and down. And when you go down, it'll pull your lips up. It doesn't look so good on video, but you're going to pull down. I don't really want to show you underneath my lip, but you know, that's the feeling. And then go a little bit more, and you're going to pull your head against your fingers. So the fingers stay still, and you're moving your head up and down, up and down. And there's this attachment that the lip has in there. So be gentle with that. You don't want to pull too hard. So move your head up and down, up and down. And then coming back, up and down, and up and down. And this is so good for the tissues, circulation, the skin. Not too hard. Just enough to feel that tug. I have to put my lips under there to moisten it again. All right, and then just feel it's starting to fluff out more. So do 1 more time. This time, you're gonna hold and then gently turn your head. Turn your head as you just hold your lips. And you can pull your lip out a little bit as you do this too. Gently though, and slowly turn your head. Pulling out and go side to side. This is great if you do any kind of public speaking or performing. You know, it'll really puff up your lips and also get them very supple. Okay, so now you can feel with your fingers, feel the upper lip area compared to the lower lip. Wow, it even feels more moist, the skin, after doing that. Okay, now let's do the bottom lip. So we're gonna take and just pull it straight up with your fingers this time. Just pulling it with the fingers up. So taking it, pulling it up, and a little bit out as you pull up. Pulling it up and a little bit out. Okay, there's a lot more we can do with these lips with different movements. Okay, so go all the way from one side to the other, and then let's rest for a moment. Of course, this might be great to do if you have a very hot date. Why not? Or surprise your spouse. Okay, so now let's try this again. And this time, let's just move it a little bit side to side, side to side, and very gently. Don't move your head, just your lip with your hands. These are different movements that we make. Keep breathing through your nose, pulling out, and then going side to side. And of course, this is very helpful if you've got jaw issues or grinding your teeth issues. Okay, side to side. Okay, I get to keep swallowing. There's a lot of saliva that gets produced in that lower lip area. Okay, pull out and go side to side. And then out and side to side. Out and side to side. Just working from one side of the mouth to the other. Okay, rest for a moment. So when you rest, it allows the circulation to go, to fill in there. Okay, one more round. Here we go. So now you're going to hold your lips, pull the lower lip with two hands, pull it out, and then let's do it up and down with your head, up and down. And let's just to save a little bit of time, let's go side to side. So we'll go up, down, and then side, side. Up, down, side, side. Moving your head, holding your lip, pulling it out, up, and be careful with that. Those tendons are delicate. Side to side. You don't want to have any lip injuries here. Up, down, side, side. And then let's work our way back. Up, down, side, side. Up, down, side, side. And you might notice that parts of this might be tender. Okay. And that may be unique to some of your holding patterns with your mouth. Okay. All right. Now let your lips swallow, move the saliva around there. Feel your mouth now. Maybe close your eyes for a moment and just play with, puckering your lips a little bit, moving them around a little bit. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take the bottom lip and the top lip. Okay, like this, like, fish. You probably played with this with kids or maybe when you were a child. You're going to move side to side across one another, side to side. So weird looking. Okay. All right, rest for a moment. Can you make that sound with your lips now? Can you pucker them out this way and blow? All right. If that's not easy to do, keep playing with these little practices. You might need to curl your lips like this a little bit more so that you push down with the top fingers and pull under to kind of stretch the lip that way. All right. Same from underneath, stretch it. And then kind of pucker a little bit. And you just relax your lips. Don't hold them together. Just put them together without any pressure. Now, don't worry if you can't do that today. You can work on it slowly, but we're going to play this little game. Take your index fingers together, and I have this hand tucked in so the other hand can fit over it. And you're going to start. And go across your fingers with your index fingers. So it's harder than it may look. So don't worry about always making a sound, but see, can you feel the vibration against your fingertips? And if you press too hard with your fingertips, it will stop the movement. So just go very lightly over your lips. Maybe just maybe count to 10. Let's do that. 1, 2, and stroke your lips while you talk to 10. 4, 5, 6. Like very lightly stroking. So it's not interfering with the movement of your mouth to stroke your lips. Okay, now see if you can do the movement of blowing. Yeah? Really fun game to play with children, and with children who have any lisping issues or difficulties enunciating things. We're going to get into the tongue next, but also if you do, if you tend to slur or whatever your words, this next part is really going to open the tongue, and this really releases a lot of tension in the chest as well, because the tongue is attached in the throat area here, right? So it's attached up high, but there's this hyoid bone that is actually a key area for the tongue. Okay, so I'm going to grab my handkerchief. You can use a paper towel, like I mentioned, any kind of thin cloth that's very clean, because what we're going to do next is work with your tongue. Okay, so we're going to just work with the tip, outer tip of your tongue, and you're going to take a hold of the tip of your tongue with a towel. Really great to practice talking while holding the tip of your tongue. And if you have, you or anyone else you know, issues with speaking, oh my gosh, this will really help your diction, and it will relieve a lot of tension in the throat. Okay, so very gently, hold the tip of your tongue, and you're going to now gently move your tongue to the side of your mouth, okay, and nod your head. Nod your head, and very gently pull on it. And if you pull too hard, it's so not helpful. Do not try to go for some distance record. That's not the point here. The point is nourishing, nurturing. Think of some delicate flower here, and very delicate, up and down with your head, okay? Up and down with your head. Tap your heel a little bit to find your heel, and then let's rest, because you need to swallow and you need to kind of wet your mouth. This is not an endurance test at all, but you can feel just holding it to that one side, how that activated a lot. You can almost see it on the video, how that side of my face is more open. Let's do the same side. Hold it, the tip of your tongue, move it over, up and down with your head. And if you want to put your hand on your head to help you feel, that's fine. And then really relax your jaw, just like it. And if you want, if there's no one around, I would encourage you to vocalize a little bit and just play with ah, okay? And that ah sound, the vibration, as we've talked about with the whole sinus breathing program, it will really be clearing, helpful for your immune system in your throat and in your mouth as well. There's a lot of bacteria and stuff that's fighting for you in your mouth. We want your mouth to be really healthy. Okay, let's go again. And this time, just a quarter of a turn. So now away, up here, up and down, and if you are a singer, oh my gosh, this wonderful little warm up to relax your throat. Okay, now straight out the middle, I'm just going to switch hands now, and tip of your tongue, gently pull it out, and up with your head and down. As you practice this, you don't do it for very long, but you can start with your awareness expanding and feel that vibration and the sound. Can your chest relax, your shoulders relax, your head, the vibration, it'll vibrate your head. It's phenomenal, okay? It's like a week of meditation in just a few minutes. Okay, now the tip of your tongue again. And let's go quarter turn again. Quarter turn. Hold on. Up and down. Doesn't have to sound pretty. And notice how it's different from one side of your throat to the other, okay? And let's go again, tip of your tongue, and all the way over. And here we go. Down and up. Okay, rest for a moment and feel your throat. Now let's go ahead and stroke your throat. Stroke your throat. Such a sacred area, this throat, yeah? And the tongue coming, I almost think of my tongue comes from my heart, even though that's not technically true, but I want my tongue to speak the beauty from my heart, yeah? And so singing, speaking, when we have this area cleared, and this is this nice stroking, when you clear this connection, yeah? This light and the vibration of the heart comes through our voices, and the tongue is a transmitter, okay? It's a funny little thing. It's the only muscle that just has this flap and doesn't have an end point. And it's 8 muscles that are kind of interwoven, so it can go all these different places. It's such a really cool little organ. So let's play a little more with your tongue. And guess what? You can make up little movements here, but I'm just giving you some sort of basic fundamentals to play with your tongue. And if you find you're in an emotional place where you just, I don't know, can't seem to connect words to things or whatever, you can do this very delicately with your tongue. Make it smaller, make it gentler. All right. So that can be very soothing and nourishing and nurturing for your emotional state by helping clear your tongue. Okay. Let's take the tip of your tongue again. Huh? Got it? Okay. Now keep this in the middle and play with a circle. Play with a circle. It's hard to say that. Around. And once again, okay, reverse. Maybe wet your tongue again. Reverse. Try to go this way. Now, if you happen to stutter, okay, I am not an expert with stuttering, but the more we can relax and connect these movements with a sense of control, I believe this could be helpful. And I'd love your comments on this. If you are a stutterer and you play with this and it helps you, please let me know. But let's try it one more time, but let's make the movement smaller. Okay, it's easy, actually, not easy, but it's easier to make large movements than small movements. So we're going to play a little bit with some circles, and then I want to play with a little bit of going back and forward. So you're going to go like this. You're going to go around, and then around, and then back and forth. Okay, doesn't sound so good to listen to, but wow, feel the difference. Stroke your neck again and your cheeks. Okay, we're running out of time. We've got so much more, but we're going to play another little game with your tongue. This one I just love if you need to warm up for a talk or something like that. You're gonna take your tongue and hold it on the side of your mouth, okay? And then I want you to talk, maybe talk about the flower you had this week that you saw or whatever, or talk about something you saw this morning, but just talk and play with talking with holding your tongue. Hold your tongue gently while you talk. And this is literally tongue in cheek kind of talking, but can you hold it and move it a little bit and keep talking and just little places that you can do. You can do this in front of the mirror, okay? And just spend like 30 seconds talking with your tongue held gently. You don't want to bite your tongue, but you want to hold it. Okay, now stop and rest. And then I want you to say the same thing you did just for a moment. Talk and feel how it is now to use your tongue while talking. It doesn't work unless you practice something. Say something, talk about what you had for breakfast or dinner or whatever, but see how it feels to move your tongue now, okay? Okay, let's stroke your throat again. And great. And then we're going to, I thought I would use a stick, but we're just going to stay with the rock here. Let's finish with the rock. And I'd like you to just place the rock and slowly go around your mouth now and feel the rock now. It's like a very different feeling than the beginning. And then go to your chin and to your jaw. Okay, and around to the other side, to the ear, stroking with this rock. If your rock is rough, don't press very hard, okay? You don't need a polished rock, but a smoother rock. Maybe you have to keep looking if yours is a little rough, okay? And then just find the outsides of the lips with the rock and maybe reverse. Okay, and put your rock down. Just rub your hands. Nice breath in. So there is so much to feel with the face, okay? You can stroke it now, and from the beginning of this series, feel now your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, how everything connects now. And does it feel clearer in your face than before we started? Is it more awake in your mind? And we'll finish with your hand on your chest and just see how that feels now. Your face connected to your chest. Tap your heels a little bit. And I send you my blessings here. Play with this work. See what it does for you. Feel free to write in the comments on these videos to let me and others know what's working for you. And the next series is going to be called Walking in Balance. I think I might have mentioned it last week, but Walking in Balance. And we're going to work with deer medicine or deer wisdom and what the deer have to teach us about walking in balance. And I'm excited about this, how to walk lightly on your feet, looking at hip, knee, ankle issues and feet issues as well. But how to really have a sturdy sense of balance, but a lightness in your balance for walking and hiking. So now we're going to do the after class with discussion and questions. Definite drainage coming from your, you know how the eustachian tube goes into the throat. So yeah, that's totally normal. Yeah, and you can gargle with salt water or something like that too, just to kind of keep any infection from brewing or something in your throat. But this clearing of the ears is very powerful. And then hopefully they'll stay clearer for you. You know, it's not like we got to do these lessons every single day, yeah, but you do them as you need to. All the lessons in these series, you do them as you need to. And then you, after you've done them enough, you can do a little bit of one, and it, like, the whole lesson comes back to you. It's kind of like we don't need to practice the alphabet once we start using it in words. And then once we use our words, we don't have to keep practicing the words, we use the words. And so this type of building awareness with your body, it'll be kind of sort of auto-corrective after a while, be automatic. And let me mention one thing, I meant to mention it in the class, is that I use a tongue scraper, okay? It's a Ayurvedic thing or Indian thing. I think maybe the Chinese use it too. It's just, it looks like a dental equipment. It's just this U-shaped piece of metal that you stick back in your throat, and you scrape your tongue a few times with it in the morning. You can use a big spoon, a silver spoon, you know, a stainless steel spoon, whatever, and scrape the top of the tongue. And you don't scrape it hard, but it'll pull off bacteria and junk on your tongue in the morning that's been sitting there for 8 hours. And it will help prevent infections, really important during COVID time, or flu season or whatever, just to lower your level of, you know, extra bacteria, bad bacteria to deal with. So the tongue scraper is a really good little, like, you know, 10-second practice to have in your life. It's beautiful to see the changes in everybody. But the lips are, it's such a wonderful one to open. Yeah. Yeah. And how was it with you, for you, with the rock on your face, right?
Yeah.
Saying it could be extremely healing for you is my point.
Yeah.
Very gently with it, you see, it's kind of like making friends again with the rock, like, you know. And also treating your body more gently than you might have treated it in your past. And so all of these lessons are kind of a way of making amends or something like that with your body, for ways that, you know, maybe it wasn't your fault, you were assaulted or whatever, but now you're kind of like, look, you know, here, this is so nourishing, this is so nurturing, and your body trusts you again. You know, it's like, hey, you know, this is very different kind of relationship. So, and I love the rock because it's so neutral, and where it's not moving fast or we're not moving hard, and it's something you can really settle into. And the tissue now, I mean, just doing that for a few seconds, and of course I've been doing this work for a long time, but even somebody who's brand new to this work, just that feeling now after you remove the rock is so much more alive, the tissue. The other thing I'd recommend for your case where you really had some trauma to your mouth is to play with, trying to think which position I want to be, play with this movement, and you can just talk with your lips and just stroking, right? And talking. And the bones of your size of your fingers aren't quite as hard as the stone, and they'll give you feedback of the movement of your lips against them. Okay. Yeah. If you've ever had like a little kid where you put your finger against their mouth and they kept talking, you know, or a friend or something, you know, or a lover or whatever, and you put your, and they keep, you know, you really feel the feedback of the teeth here, of the jaw and the mandible, the maxilla. Yeah. So just feeling those structures. And then we're doing with this one, but you can pull both lips together. I can't talk when I do that. That's probably why I didn't show you that one. So there's all of that. And like I mentioned, you'll make up stuff. And you watch little kids, they play with their lips a lot. And it is very developmental. It really helps us with articulation. So have fun with that. Yeah. And be gentle with yourself. I mean, I used to get cold sores a lot, and it was very humiliating. Sometimes you have a big cold sore on your mouth and you have to give a talk or something, and you know, people are staring at your mouth or something, or maybe you had acne or something like that. That can be very difficult. Just some of the sort of shame stuff that goes on with face. Okay. And so this work that we did with the whole series will help clear and really help the nutrition to the skin, but also the emotional stuff as well that goes with our faces. Everybody's unique with their story of their face. So, and also if you have anybody you know with a stroke or brain injury, the face, any of these lessons with the face, but particularly these ones with the tongue and the lips, and you know, if you're a caregiver or a family member and you can kind of have enough safety. You know, I've worked with clients, you know, I'm like, you know, holding their tongue with a paper towel. I'll use a paper towel, or these are, you know, hygienically clean. They've been washed really well. But, you know, you can do that with somebody who has a stroke and is unable to speak. They can do it to themselves if they can, right? And you can do it with their lips and this kind of thing. But of course, you have to have extreme permission. This is such a private area, and you want to be extremely like respectful working with someone's tongue and their lips, but it can be very transformative. Yeah. But like in all my series, it's so nice doing this to yourself. You're in control, you have the power, and you can play with experimenting very gently with these areas. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what other series bring us, but the face series is one of the more delicate areas of the body, and you want to have respect for delicate areas. There's a tremendous amount of power in anything that's delicate. And, you know, we sometimes scoff about flowers, like, you know, what are they, you know, they don't have power. They're nothing like a tree or something, you know, but they're extremely powerful. And having your sensitivity level raised to that level is a power in itself. And so you don't have to do these lessons, you know, 1,000 times. You know, more than twice or 3 times at a time is a lot. So give it a rest and then come back, especially if you do have kind of a lot going on with your face or your jaw or healing. Give yourself some space to process. And how do we process things? You know, we're in a culture where we have processed foods, right? Things that are already processed. How does that really work? You know, are we absorbing all the nutrients when it's already processed? So likewise now, or the opposite, I should say, with these kinds of lessons, it takes a lot of processing sometimes. So respect that, especially if you've had some really good knocks in your life, you know, where you're like, yeah, I know, I can feel I've got something here. Give it a little time to process. Give it a little time. A lot of times we feel like we don't have the time, but we do. We want to make the time for things that are hard. I mean, they can't be pre-processed. You're the one that processes them, and you'll do it. If it takes 10 years, it'll take 10 years, you know. It might take your whole life, some things. But that's like pemmican. It's some good medicine that you've got to work on for your whole life. Yeah, constant wisdom that's feeding you. Different view of healing and vitality. Yeah. So like a lot of flowers are poisonous, right? If you eat them, they're, you know, some will kill you. So, you know, but if you take this, the tiniest little bit of the poison, it's a medicine, right? You know that about a lot of medicines, they come from poisonous things sometimes. And so this is really good to remember with flowers that, you know, even though they're so delicate and colorful and beautiful, you know, they have this potent medicine in them. And likewise, your face, you know, you might have some areas in your face that have pockets of pain or you know, trauma or something like that, treat it like medicine, like a little bit at a time. That's why I use medicine a lot in my titles, you know, whether it's flower medicine or something like that, that we have respect for the medicine and just to do a little at a time. It makes me want to do that again. I pressed flowers as a girl and I did a little bit as an adult, but now I'm all excited again. That's great. And have you felt a little difference with the way your hands are now too? Touching? Do your hands feel a little bit more soft? Yeah, a little more aware because it connects to here too. And also the series doesn't end in that these videos, you can write comments on the video when you do the video. And that's a fun way to connect with other people in the classes too. Enjoy your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and enjoy the flowers out there. Take care.